Welcome to Revealing the Narc. Join me as I highlight narcissistic traits in celebrities and public figures. Everything here is in my opinion and not professional advice. If you enjoy the analysis, please like and subscribe. Another 2020 Commonwealth Day video, but this one has been one that you have all been requesting. It is from the moment that the exit out of Westminster Abbey is occurring and Meghan pushes herself through a couple of chairs in order to get in front of Duchess Sophie and Prince Edward. So just to remind ourselves where we are and when this is occurring, this is one of the very last events that Harry and Meghan attended. At this point, they had been in the UK for a couple of days. They hadn't seen any of the royal family. This was the first event that they would actually get to see them. So there was a little bit of maybe nervousness on Harry's part. Meghan looks defiant because she thinks she's won. She thinks she's going to be a great success in America. Harry looks like he's sad. In fact, Prince William and Princess Catherine, they also look very, very sad. The only one that seems to be smiling in the pictures is Meghan, actually. So let's get into the video clip. So the Queen has already begun her exit. You'll see now Harry pushes himself. Harry goes first, and then Meghan pushes herself through the chairs, and they end up in front of Sophie and Prince Edward. One thing I do want to point out is how graciously Sophie curtsies to the Queen during her exit. And now let's zoom in at the moment that we've all been talking about. Unfortunately, the footage does not show a lot of what's on the left side of the screen. So I did my best to zoom in as far as I could to see all the action, I guess. Okay, so I'm going to share with you my opinion about this, and it might be different than what you expect, and it might be completely different than what you feel about it. So please feel free to leave it in the comments how you perceive this. Okay, so I'm including a couple of clips here of the entrance, and the first people that arrived in the footage that I saw were Prince Edward and Duchess Sophie, and they make their way in. They end up sitting in the aisle seats, as you saw. Then Harry and Meghan come in, and they end up on the inside of those chairs. So in my opinion, Harry and Meghan walked out in the correct order. They were in front. They were going to be in between Prince William and Catherine and Prince Edward and Duchess Sophie. However, the way they did it was incredibly rude. I think likely what Edward and Sophie were going to do was step back and let Harry and Meghan get in front. But these two are so impulsive, so childish, they can't hide their tantrums. They fear that they won't be in the correct position, in their opinion, that they push those chairs aside in order to ensure that Sophie and Edward are not in front of them. So, in my opinion, I think the order was right. Harry and Meghan should have been in front when they were walking out, but the way they went about it was completely wrong. In my opinion, of course. So I'm wondering how you all feel about it. Please drop it in the comments and let me know. Do you see what I'm seeing? Do you agree with what I'm saying? So I'm trying to think why. Why would someone push their way forward when they knew that that was already where they were going to be? And I think there may be a couple of reasons. So maybe there's this desire for absolute control. Maybe Meghan and Harry, because Harry was the one that pushed ahead first, they want to take charge of every aspect of that Commonwealth Day, even though they already knew what the outcome was. And if we get into Harry's mindset on that day, he probably did feel powerless because he wanted to walk with the senior working royals and he was denied. So maybe to make up for that loss of power that he felt, he decided he would charge through and ensure that at the very least during the exit, he in his mind is where he is appropriately positioned. Even though protocol placed Harry and Meghan ahead of Sophie and Edward, maybe both of them felt, or they had this strong need to make sure that they got that spot. This lends back to the potential feelings of paranoia that narcissists might experience, allegedly. We were talking about this yesterday on the Sidley twins show when I was on with them, about narcissists being paranoid. And in my experience, what I've noticed is that the narcissists I've been around have always been very possessive of objects and things and statuses that are their own. And if there is even the slightest perceived threat, they come out in full force. So maybe Harry and Meghan saw Edward and Sophie getting up, and in their mind, they thought, they're going to try to get ahead of us, so we need to take matters into our own hands. It doesn't matter how rude this might look, we're going to step in front of them. So at first I mentioned that maybe Harry was trying to gain his own power back, but there could also be this need of projecting the confidence and command. So by pushing to the front, they could be trying to demonstrate their power or their confidence. By making this move, even though it's unnecessary, perhaps Meghan and Harry wanted to embody this image of a couple that's assertive and they're unfazed and they're fully command in any situation, including the one that they are about to embark on, as this was the very last event that they would be attending as senior working royals. One thing to really think about is Meghan's perspective on this. We know that she wants to impress others with this image of being an empowered woman. So maybe she moved forward and pushed the chairs aside to show that she makes things happen. She is able to lead the way, and she can make bold moves in order to project this image of power and reinforcing her sense of being the center of attention. The hypocrisy, however, is that she is not someone that leads the way. She is not someone that makes things happen. And what I mean by that is like production or work or professionalism. She wants to look like she's a go-getter and she's empowered and she's risen above everything. But usually whenever she is displaying these qualities, it's when she is stomping on someone or just like this, pushing people out of the way. It's completely a false projection of who she thinks she is. So I'm curious what you all think about this. This video was a little bit difficult for me because I just can't wrap my head around the action. They were going to be in front anyways. There are all these cameras on you. Why would you do that? It's so strange to me. Anyways, so I'm going to end the video right here. I'm curious to know what you all think about it. Please leave it in the comments. If this was interesting to you, please like and subscribe, and I will talk to you all soon. Goodbye.